I'm going to read it real slow shit too. Like double tap episode 385.
Well, it's time now. So
yeah, this episode of Double Tap is brought to you by Brownells, Black Rhino Concealment, Gideon Optics, Medical Gear Outfitters, Bowers Group, and Matador Arms.
Your fingers itchy, ready for the flight with the minds on the target. We're aiming for the light. Welcome to the Double Tap, where we deliver the facts, answering questions, talking gun industry tracks.
welcome to Double Tap, episode 385. Your host tonight are the three amigos, the best three men that you've ever had in one place at one time. It's Jeremy Paz Derek from Rivers Edge Tactical in Valley City, Ohio. We got the machine gun. Nope, we got Nick Lynch checking in. Machine Gun Moses died. Sorry, it's
Thank God.
It's been on my mind. It's we've been waiting a long time for it. But Nick, welcome to the show. My name's Sean Heron. I'm glad everyone's here. This is going to be a quick show, B, a happy show, and C, a show full of information. Right, Nick? Nick's muted. He's nodding. No, he shook his head, shaking his head. Jeremy, how happy are you right now that Aaron's not here?
I was going to say, it's much like society. If you took one subset out of society, imagine how much, what? You don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then then it just goes better. Like, I don't know why that works.
I can't understand.
Look, if Aaron's been kicked off 109 podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Talk. Tell me you don't understand per capita.
Oh my God. That fucking dumb am. I'm like, now understand per capita, nothing.
It's okay. We'll make fun of him when he's actually here. It's no fun making fun of him when he's not here.
Disagree.
Well, let's get into it. All right. So Brownells, I try to search for whatever we're talking about at the beginning of the show. Every time we do the ad read, and I'm going to see if they have anything when I type in Aaron. One result. Holy fuck. Okay. Well, they have Sons of Liberty Gunworks, Sage Dynamics, 12.5 inch upper. So Aaron Cowan.
Wrong Aaron.
Dynamics. Yeah, this is one of the good Aarons instead of the bad Aaron.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're one of the good ones.
Now I'll type in like David for Star of David. 17 results. A lot of Davide Pedersoli stuff. Oh, these are like Creedmoor rifle sights.
Man, I bet a bunch of stuff would come up if you typed in Israel.
Let me type it. Let me see what happens. Israel. One result. Ultimac M1 carbine M6B forward optic mount.
What?
Wait, what if I...
Oh, because it's probably all abbreviated.
What if
like
I type in
IWI
Palestine?
and stuff?
Palestine 0 results. What if I type in Fab Defense? 2 items. Huh. Apparently they don't carry any Fab Defense stuff.
Good for them.
Yeah. You know what? That just shows how discerning Brownells actually is. They're like, no trash, just the good stuff. Brownells.com, coupon code WLS10. It's a great place to buy Christmas presents, and it's just about time for you guys to do that. So that's all I'm saying. All right, it's time for Dear WLS. We read your questions. We make fun of your questions. You never write us again. Nick, why don't you start us off?
Oh, okay. Man, so off topic, but Tyler got a bunch of really nice bread from a local bakery.
Nice.
But it was too much and it was starting to go stale. So I threw a loaf in the fridge and I just made a sandwich with it before the show. And it was really hard. Mm-hmm. So I threw it in the toaster thinking like, I'll just toast it. And then sometimes that makes the like really stale bread easier to deal with.
Definitely.
It did not. And I think all of the soft tissue in and around my mouth is like a bloody pulp now.
Oh no. It's like you ate Captain Crunch.
Yeah, it was awful.
I hate that. It is just
right.
The worst when that happens.
This question is this is Aaron's kid's real dad.
I was going to say, if you take like butter and melt it and mix it with like garlic and salt and then spread it over the crunchy bread and then bake it a little bit, you can just make homemade croutons and then eat those.
Yeah, this loaf is going to become croutons because that's basically all we can do with it. But
Damn.
I toasted it and then put a bunch of mayo on it, and I thought like the mayo will soak in a little bit with the sandwich. But
Nope, it's just acidity to burn the cuts.
yeah, to burn the cuck.
Yeah. Wait, what? Aaron's not here.
Aaron's kid's real dad. This question is more for Jeremy. Currently live in the same city as Savage, but can't stand his commie ways. We're looking at moving to Ohio, or excuse me, we're looking to move to in 2025. What cities are the most gun friendly with the best chance of possibly starting an FFL down the road? Washington, or excuse me, WA is a lost cause, so don't let Savage say anything otherwise.
Yeah, there you go, Jeremy. It's best city.
Well, the cities all suck, but no one or more is less or more gun friendly, like per se, because state preemption. So like cities aren't allowed to have stricter gun laws than what the state allows. So they've tried that in a couple places. They got their asses sued and they lost.
Yeah.
So like no. Now, if you shoot somebody, the DA might be a little bit more favorable in one county versus the other. But stay away from major cities. Live in the suburbs of those cities.
I think if he wants to start an FFL, he should move to Valley City.
I'll fucking kill you. I'll just put you out. I'll put you out of business like the 3 other ones I did.
I hear that Valley City doesn't have any gun shops.
No good ones.
Or ranges.
Well, they have no gun shops, but a gun range, yeah. And we're a gun range that happens to sell firearms. But just stay away from it. Just depends on like how many people do you want to live in your town. Do you want to live? How close to a city do you want to live? If you live 45 minutes from a city, you're going to be in a relatively small town. If you want to live 10 minutes from the city, you're going to be in a relatively built up suburb. If you want to live 25 minutes from a city, you're going to be in like a moderate suburb.
Yeah. The only place I would live in Ohio is like near Jeremy.
You realize most of the state is like where I live or more rural.
Yeah, but I'm not moving to Ohio because it's a cool state. I would be moving to Ohio so we could hang out more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's pretty sweet here. Like, come on, it's pretty dope.
It's pretty cool.
That being said, it just depends. Like, do you want to live in a cornfield or do you want to live in the woods? Do you want to live in the foothills of Appalachia or do you want to live in a fucking city or a suburb? Like, because other than that, it's just like.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you an interesting stat that I saw the other day, and it's the most racist town in Ohio is Valley City, Ohio. However, before Jeremy gets all mad, if Jeremy moved, it would be the least racist town.
I was gonna say mad, dude. If I had the ability to change the statistics like that, I'd be fucking proud.
Right? Like, you know what? Even
if it's me, no, that's not true. And you know how I know that's true? Because do you know what sundown laws are?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of towns that used to have those way back in the day. And the one town all the way up until the 90s when I was a kid still had the sign at the edge of town that basically said, get your black ass out before the sun goes down.
Holy fuck.
Like in not so succinct words.
Right. Right.
It was called Belleville.
There's even places, God, I was just watching a YouTube video the other day. I don't recall what it was, but it was a black dude that went to a sundown town.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, don't go there. And he's like, why? And they're just like, no,
if you go in the day, you're fine.
Right.
Do not go at night.
Yeah.
And they don't want you in that town while they're sleeping. And yeah, we had a couple of those. Like we had, when I was a kid, there were like Klan rallies, not here, but like, in Ohio. But it's pretty much gone now.
Yeah. All right. Jeremy, why don't you take the next one?
Scott G says, definitely not a G though. Not a question, but the best idea ever for at least one episode of Gunfights. Reverse everything and use Blue Book of gun values or something similar instead of Gunbroker. Jeremy would be host, probably had a subscription. Enjoy.
Yeah, Jeremy, you seem like the old man FUD enough to have
I-
a subscription to Blue Book of
I don't
Gun
have a
Values.
subscription, but I do have a blue book. Like I have a book.
To be fair, I think I do too, from like 2010 or something.
I think mine's from like 2019.
I think I have a subscription actually still. I need to cancel that.
Half Bud.
Been paying for that shit for years.
I should have a subscription because I do tend to use it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's kind of part of my job. But we use Gunbroker more than anything to like gauge where the level of interest is for like Blue Book might say $500, but then you go look on Gunbroker and it's more like $300, and you're just like, oh,
for sure. Let's see. Dutch Walker just gave us a $20 Rumble rant and says, what's the best way to learn how to build and or modify an AR, disassemble a working AR, or buy a kit and build one?
Both.
Yeah, like all of the above.
Yeah, like if you got one, take it apart. If you don't have one, go build one. Watch a YouTube video. Like it's not that fucking hard. You can literally build an AR-15 in an hour with a YouTube video and a very modicum of tools.
Yeah, some really good videos that I watched throughout the years were was it Student of the American Rifle, Sotar?
I'll put it this way. I made a barrel nut tool out of an old pair of adjustable pliers and a broken drill bit. Like, and I used that shit for years.
Dude, that's actually smart. But yeah, even the exploded diagrams. So when I'm like maybe 4 or 5 years into the show, I had one of those big cleaning mats that had it was from Patriot Patch Company. It had the exploded AR diagram, and just like, I don't know, I'd be sitting there working on something and just kind of push everything out of the way and just like literally look at all the pieces and parts. Not that I didn't know where they went, but it was just to learn specifically what the names of every specific detent or spring or whatever it happened to be was.
Well, it's not even that. When you see it blown up like that, you can really get an idea of how everything functions with everything else and like what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people are like, how do I become a gunsmith? I'm like, learn how guns work.
Yeah.
Like, first off, take a machining course, because otherwise you're just an armorer. If you can't use a lathe or a Bridgeport, you're just an armorer.
And fuck, what's it called? World of Guns, gun disassembly.
Yeah.
That app.
Oh, it's insane.
Valuable. Yeah.
So like if you can't cut metal, you're an armorer, but that's besides the point. But one of the jobs of being a smith or an armorer, whichever level you aspire to, is learning how to diagnose a problem. So shooting a gun, seeing it jam and do something not in the cycle of operations, figuring out which part of the cycle of operations that has fucked up in, and then figuring out what are the causes of that specific fuck up, and then fixing that fuck up. Like that's like 90% of your job.
Yeah. And honestly, there's very few ways that an AR-15 goes bad. Like a AR-15 assembly goes bad.
Well, it's like, if it does this, it's one of these three things. If it does this, it's one of these three things.
Yep.
If it does this, it's one of two things. You know, like I had a guy bring a gun in and the trigger wasn't resetting. And he kept having to eject a live round to get the trigger to reset. I'm like, that's fucking weird. So I popped the hammer out and I popped the trigger out and I go to pull the disconnector off, and the disconnector comes out. And guess what? There's no disconnector spring. Like none. And he goes, I bought it this way. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, oh, they forgot to fucking put it in, bud. So,
and the disconnector spring is like a little kind of pyramid. It's wider at the bottom than it is at the top.
Yes. So because it goes in and it stays in on the bottom and it gets trapped, so it doesn't fall out. And if you turn that thing upside down and put it in there and it rests at the exact perfect position, you can make an accidental full auto. Ask me how I know.
Oops.
And we'll call that a feature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but
I would say buy a kit and build one. Honestly, watch a few YouTube videos. Mr. Guns and Gear actually has some good ones back in the day. I don't know where they're stored now because YouTube doesn't allow them, but Student of the American Rifle, fucking awesome stuff. And it will teach you some of the more advanced things. And look, once you put a couple together, look at the more expensive ARs that you have and see the different things that they do. Like, are they staking their castle nut? Are they, what kind of stuff are they doing to the gas block? Just look at all that stuff. It's very fascinating, honestly. Let's see. We are back now to Nick.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Okay, here it is.
There it is.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can read this.
I'm
just kidding. Colonel Ingus says, I let one of the sales guys at Shields talk me into a Silencer Co. ASR muzzle brake for a 10.5 inch 5.56 AR. I'm stuck using their mounting system. Am I stuck using their mounting system? Or is there another company that is compatible? The muzzle device is already installed, and the cost of failure is a short, disappointing range day. Yeah, that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. I don't know. What is ASR? I don't even know what the fuck ASR is anymore.
I think that's like what you would have had before chemo.
That's Silencer Co.'s shitty fucking muzzle device.
Yeah. The mounts to the stupid MAD mounts.
No, MAD is rugged. ASR is
not true. Actually, back in the day, the Silencer Co., the one that I had.
Oh, the MAD,
yeah,
MAAD.
Correct.
This is the Silencer Shop ASR. It's a shit mount. It's fucking trash. Now the question is, depending on what can you had, if it's hub compatible and you can take that out, you can buy another hub compatible QD system like a Dead Air Chemo or a Griffin Dual Lock, and you can thread that in there, and then you would have to replace all your muzzle devices with that specific muzzle device, and then you could go that way. But yeah, the ASR is pretty shit. I hardly sell any Silencer Co's, anything, basically because the ASR mount is fucking garbage.
It is. It's true, and it's not their first garbage mount. It's like their third.
Yeah, it's like their fifth garbage mount. It's pretty bad. Like, they've never figured it out.
No, they not only have they never figured it out, but I feel like they just get worse and worse. I have my first silencer that I ever bought was a Silencer Co., and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, same here. I bought a Spec War and I fucking hate it.
God.
Glenn 10mm asks, does anyone make a suppressor cover that doesn't slide off? They do. Liberty's Defense, but they're very expensive. They're like $325. But they make one that has a stainless steel cable wrapped around it, and it actually goes behind the can and tightens down and then comes back up. I have one. It's fantastic. They do not fall off. The other ones is I have a Manta Defense, MANTA, which are silicone slide over, and you have to put like hand sanitizer on there basically, so it slides over, and then once the hand sanitizer dries up, it really doesn't slide back off unless you cook it. They won't catch it, they won't melt, but you can burn them. But the Liberty's Defense I have not fucked up yet, and I've tried to hurt it.
I've talked to Dustin at Coltac, and he says that you can tighten theirs so much that they don't come off. However, I have never been able to get mine to do that. They always slide off. And every single one of my suppressor covers looks really good till you get to the end, and then it's just like a frayed mess because they slide off and I don't notice, and then I shoot and all the gas expands and fucks them all up. But like Coltac says that they do, but I just haven't been able to tighten mine enough.
Have you tried setting your purse down before you tighten them down?
No, I could, because honestly, shut up. But yeah, I don't know. I totally agree. Hold on.
And to get back to the Colonel, I don't know. Yeah. I was trying to go for a Spanish thing there, and it really didn't work. Going back to Mr. Ingus's question, yeah, cut your losses. Put that stuff up on eBay or TaxSwap, or there's a subreddit. I don't know. Put those things up for sale somewhere, and then replace them with
get half your
something
money back.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just chalk it up to a mistake.
The two best mainstream ones out there are the Dead Air Chemo and the Griffin Dual Lock. My buddy was telling me about another one that was really good, but I don't remember the name, and they're not as popular of a suppressor, or I should say they're higher end, and I can't think of their name right now.
I just want a standard, man. That's really all I want, is like a standard that everyone can use. Hub, that has kind of become a standard. That's like a good thing, but we need a standard for QD muzzle device / attachment.
I always wish they'd do like a tri-lug or a dual lug for rifles, and just do that. Like, it's like, I don't understand why rifle suppressors aren't. Why is there 5.56 30 cal tri-lug?
Yeah, man.
Like, that's really what I want.
Drives me nuts. All right. Whoa. That was so loud. So, Nick, you just ordered a new Black Rhino concealment thing.
I did.
Are you allowed to tell us what you ordered?
Yes. Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a holster for a staccato. What is it? The XC?
Yeah, P.
Yeah, the staccato P. But not like a real staccato P. It's for the Ace VR handset.
Yeah, which we're definitely going to talk about a lot.
Yeah, I emailed Ron and was like, "Hey, I need a holster for this," and he was like, "We got you." He said, "Do you have any special requests?" And I said, "Use a color that you don't ever use, or do something really stupid with it." And he was like, "We got you."
Oh God, you're in trouble now. But
I hope it's good. The crazier the better, because the more people are going to pay attention to it, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm going to be like, "Black Rhino concealment, man."
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be perfectly fair, you have a Taylor Swift holster and EBT like welfare card holster.
Oh yeah, sometimes I carry the spray painted gold high point with the EBT card holster at work, and every time I do, people are like asking questions, and like they want to look at it and take pictures of it and stuff.
Holsters for everything, no matter what you can imagine. They'll probably make a holster for you. BlackRhinoConcealment.com, coupon code WLS is life gets you a discount. And you know what? They love you more. And that may or may not show up in other ways. I don't know. I'm just saying they probably do. All right, Jeremy, the next question belongs to you. It's from Scottle. Isn't that when you sink your own boat?
That's Scuttle. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
He says, I'm going to start shooting in some local competitions with some friends. I need a belt set up, and I was going to get a Blue Alpha belt. Not sure if the standard battle belt or the light would be better. I don't see a lot of difference in them. Which one would you recommend? All I know is I want to have the inner and outer belt set up. Any negatives with either of them for competition shooting? I don't have an inner outer setup, so I don't know.
I will say this. I have the double belt set up and I use it a lot. The only thing that I am ever cautious about is making sure when I put the outer belt on that I hit all the hook and loop on the inner belt. Because if you don't, you look weird and your shit will be just all fucked up. But for competition, the outer belt might not be a bad idea. Now, back in the day when I was shooting a lot of USPSA and 3-gun, I had a double alpha belt rig, which was a inner belt and an outer belt, and I used that a lot. So I think either one you're actually going to be able to use pretty quickly. But for me, I love the double belt rig, especially the Battle Belt Light, because if I, am going to the range, if I'm shooting a competition, if I'm taking a class, like it meets all of those and more. And then the light, I think, is going to be your best bet, just because it is a little bit lighter. It's not going to pull your pants down as much if you have no acetol in your diet. And The standard battle belt is going to be thicker and heavier duty. It's just kind of like what are your needs, what's your body style, but they're both great options. But
Yeah,
I go battle belt light.
I agree. I would go battle belt light. The website says that the outer belt on the battle belt light is 40% lighter than the standard Molly one, which is pretty substantial. It is, at least it seems a lot thinner to me. I guess I haven't like measured them, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, it definitely seems thinner. But it's not any like less rigid, and it doesn't feel like shitty thin to me. It just feels like they found a different way. You know, it's laser cut instead of having loops sewn on there. Yeah, I am a big fan of the battle belt light, and the double belt setup is really nice because you can leave the inner belt on and just use it as a normal belt and go throughout your day, or go about your day. And then when you get to the range, you just slap the gun belt over the top, or the outer belt over the top, and you don't have to like fiddle with your belt loops or get your pouches on just right or any of that shit. Yeah, it's a good setup, and the Velcro holds everything pretty solid.
Yeah, I actually index everything off of my holster, so I just set my holster where I need it on the inner Velcro, and then wrap the rest around. I wear my battle belt.
Same thing. It's really nice.
Oh, it is. It's so good, and I wear my battle belt 2 to 3 times every single week at the range. Every video that I've been filming over the last 6 or 7 weeks, I'm wearing the battle belt in it, and I'm swapping holsters in and out. And just their mag pouches are fantastic. Like it's a good setup, and the battle belt
stays where you put it.
It does. Oh, I've never had it fall.
Yeah, once you figure out where you want things to be situated, like it's gonna be that way. If you have your pouches attached right, it's gonna be that way every single time you put the belt on, and it's great.
Which is nice, and they have some of the best Molly straps that I've ever used.
Yeah.
And if you do go to Blue Alpha, 10 WLS 24 saves you money. Rob K says, "Hey guys, I love listening to the show and also writing in when looking for advice. It's the first time doing an optic on an AKM platform, Kusa KP104. I picked up an RS Regulate for the mount, and now I need to pick between a red dot or a scope. If I do a scope, I don't want it any bigger than 5x. I was looking at the Swamp Fox Saber Prism Sight 5 to 36 optic green reticle, but I can't find any info on people running it on AKs. Also was looking at the Primary Arms SLX 3 by 32 millimeter Gen 3 Prism Scope ACSS CQB 300 BLK 762 by 39 reticle. Do you guys have any experience with either of these? Or can you suggest something different? The max range you'll be used on is 100 yards. I also don't want to spend more than $400 range, so ACOGs are out. Thanks for everything. Keep up the great work. WLS is life." I'll tell you this. My favorite AK was the Vortex AMG UH1 with a Vortex 6X magnifier behind it on a Midwest mount, not a RS Regulate, but same concept. And I really like that. The Saber is their 5X. I like it. I have one on my C308 battle rifle. I think it might be a little high for that over mount on the AK. Just trying to think of like how high that is. I think it might be a bit high. It's a good option, but then again, like 5X all the time for an AK, it's a lot. What do you think, Nick?
I think that if you're going to go with something that has a BDC reticle, get an optic that has a BDC reticle for your cartridge if you can get it.
That's true. Which that
kind of sucks to have a reticle that's basically useless.
Very, very true. And unless you go and figure out all your holdovers for every BDC subtension,
right,
and then like memorize it and drill it into your head, tattoo it on your forearm.
So yeah, there's that. The micro prisms from Primary Arms, I'm a fan of. Honestly though, I would go Like he talks about the 3 power. I would go 3 power or a red dot. I think there are some pretty decent red dots that would be a good fit on there.
He's only shooting 100 yards. Get a fucking 1X and call it a day.
Oh, does he say 100 yards?
Yeah, he does. Max range. It'll be. Yeah, I just.
Oh, yeah, red dot. Get a red.
Get
dot,
a fucking red dot, like,
and throw a magnifier on if you want it.
Yeah,
but yeah, 100 yards. You know what? No, fuck that. If you're going to shoot 100 yards and you want to have a little magnification, a good magnifier is going to be a good option here. Red dot and 3x magnifier.
Get a L can $3,200 later.
Fuck that. Let's see, Nicholas. Next question. Yes. Ooh, a big one. It's all yours.
All right. Let's see here. I know I was literally just reading it. Okay, David B. I was like, I can't remember which one I was just looking at. David B says, I am getting ready to build a gun room in the basement of my house. Unfortunately, other projects have taken priority over the gun room. But now that it is getting colder, I am planning this project for the winter. I live in the communist state of New York, but upstate away from the city, which is the assholes of the state. I have 9-foot poured foundation walls that will be 2 sides of the gun room with a casement window that I exhaust to the room so I can reload without having to kill myself from lead poisoning. The room will be 12 by 10. That's 12 inches by 10 inches, in case anybody's wondering. The question is, what do I construct the other 2 walls of to make them secure and fire resistant? There's no such thing as fireproof. My initial thoughts are metal studs at 12 inches on center with 3 layers of fire-rated gypsum board inside wrapping over the ceiling to create a rated room. On the outside, I was thinking of sheeting it in 1/2-inch OSB with chicken wire mesh stapled to it and finishing with another layer of fire-rated gypsum board. My thoughts are the OSB and 12-inch centered studs will prevent someone from bashing their way in, and the chicken wire would slow down a saw. This is just for me to reload and keep my gun safes in. At least for now. I do plan to get my FFL in the future and would run that out of here. I don't have a lot of guns, but several are irreplaceable. Grandfather's World War II issued M1 and father's Weatherby 300 Weatherby mag. Also, any recommendations on a door that could be installed without that being the weak point?
Okay,
and
so
keep going. #SSB.
I've actually done this. Okay, so what you want is a security wall. So I would do a 2x6 stud, wood stud, right, on 16-inch centers like a normal wall. On your door jamb, you put 3-4 on each side of the door jamb, because what you're going to screw the hinge, you're either going to get a vault door, which is very big, very heavy door. I would recommend a vault door if you can, but if you're not, get a big heavy steel gauge metal door. And you're basically going to run fucking like 5-inch lag bolts as hinge and locking pin around your striker plate and around the frame itself. They're going to use big, heavy fucking lag bolts. You get a 2x6 wall. You start on both sides from the wood, from the stud outward. You have a layer of drywall on either side, and then you have a layer of 12 gauge expanded metal. It's like chicken wire, but actually thick. Chicken wire is not that thick, and it won't stop a saw. It'll burn right through it. You get expanded metal. It's it looks like diamond plate, but with holes through it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. So you use like 12 gauge. It's called expanded metal, and you can buy it in 4-foot by 10-foot sheets. There you go. You whatever thickness you want, from 8, like 26 gauge down to like 6 gauge. 12 to 16 gauge would probably do you. So you have a layer of drywall on either side, a layer of expanded metal on either side, and then a layer of drywall on the outside of that, and everything's screwed into everything else. And that will you cannot bash your way through that. The only way you can get into there with some level of quickness is to literally have one of those like concrete cutting power saws that'll just rip through. Doesn't matter. You can get into a fucking safe in 30 seconds.
God, I love quickie saws.
God, those things are fucking beautiful. So somebody would literally have to show up to your house with one of those, but they're gonna have to make a fuck ton of noise doing it.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Time.
He's got a casement window, so that is your weak point here. Regardless of how strong everything else is, that casement window, which is one of the rollouts, that's your weak point. So whether it's vinyl, wood, aluminum.
So what I would do is, if you're going to use that for ventilation, I would have a fan bolted to it, and then I would have a piece of expanded metal bolted to the inside of that, right into the fucking concrete.
Yeah,
and I'm going to fucking tap con that bitch.
Yeah.
Right into your concrete foundation, and get a very thick piece of it and a lot of very big tap cons, and just fucking screw that bitch to the wall. Then mount up a sealed fan around that, so it's actually going to draw air from the room and push it out if you're going to use it for ventilation. And then at least then you know, for somebody to get through that, like they're not going to kick that out of there. They would be there all fucking day.
Yeah. And they're not going to hammer through it with a sledgehammer, and you can do your 16 on center because of the expanded metal. They're not going to get through that with a hammer or foot or whatever it is.
So
what kind of door?
I would say a vault door. But if you can't afford a vault door, a very heavy gauge security door. And like I said, if you put 3 to 4 2x6s around your door jamb, because usually when you kick a door in, you blow the door jamb in or you pull the screws out. But if you use long fucking lag bolts into, you know, several 2x4s or 2x6s, you can make a door that's like, you could have a fucking battering ram and sit there and bash on it for a couple hours before you really get in there. And then I would put rock wool in the 2x6 cavity in the wall, and that would just cut down on sound transfer. So it would sound dead in the room. So whatever you're doing in there, you don't disturb other people.
And it'll jam up fucking saws too if they get
and that as well. So even if they try to take a sawzall through it, like a sawzall will get through that wall, but it's going to take a fucking minute, and they're going to have to. I hope they brought a lot of blades.
In addition to the lag bolts and stuff, get some door armor. Like I think they've been around for 100 years and never had one of their doors kicked in. But basically, it goes on the hinges and then also goes on where the everything locks into, and super powerful. I have that in a couple places.
You're not showing that screen if you're meant to do that.
My bad.
Hey, there you go.
So
try to find a door that has hidden hinges where the hinges aren't
exposed.
The hinges aren't exposed. Yeah.
But yeah, the door armor, it's like $100, and I did a bunch of research before I actually bought it. It's good stuff.
But yeah, that's essentially a security room. Like the government uses those as quote unquote security walls. You're not just going to waltz through one. You better, if you're going to get through that thing quickly, you're going to show up prepared, and that's going to be a lot of fucking equipment.
Yeah, for real.
And then they have to do that twice.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
Concrete ceiling, the other 2 walls, concrete, no door, no window.
I like
it's the only way to be perfectly secure.
They'll have to pour it in while you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in theory, the best thing you could do is literally pour forms in your basement and then pour concrete up to the ceiling, and then actually have some sort of if you could put a concrete cap on it. But that's more like new construction shit. But I've actually designed rooms like that for people with new construction. They brought me their blueprints, and they said, this is where I want my gun room. So I said, okay, you're going to tell your builder you want this, 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 and this, and this here, and it needs to be these dimensions, and yada yada yada. And they basically poured a 8-inch thick concrete wall, and then literally put a concrete, and then ran I-beams across the top, and then put a concrete cap on it.
Jeez.
I was like, have your engineer check over my work and ask him if it'll work, but it'll work. And he goes, all right. And it was a guy I knew, so like I didn't charge him for it, though I probably could as a consultant. And he was like, yeah, the engineer was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, I told you.
The reason we met Jeremy was because of a fucking secure gun room that he posted on Reddit.
Mhm.
It's awesome. We had a lot of fucking laughs in that room.
That's where I used the podcast from. If you go look at some of the earlier shows, I don't know how far back they go on YouTube, but if you go back to like all the way for like the first probably 80 or 90 shows.
You had that table with the felt in there?
Yeah, the green felt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still, I still have that table. It's actually at the range now.
Nice. Is it in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Let's real quick talk about some Gideon optics. I have been shooting, honestly, I've been shooting almost exclusively Gideon optics lately just because I've got so many to review. So this right here is the Judge. This is the RMSC cut. I have this on the Avidity Arms PD10. Been reviewing this one for a while, but yeah, got the Judge on there. Shake Awake, real nice if you're looking for one of the smaller optics. But if you want a big boy, and actually, geez, my lens is all carboned out. But that is the Omega. This is a nice big rounded window. For anyone who's watching, you can see it. But if you're just listening, big rounded window, fits the RMR cut. These are about $229.99 for this red dot. And again, I think all their stuff is Shake Awake, if not all, most. This one is definitely Shake Awake. Got a big, large window. Nice big dot. I really like the Omega. Absolutely one of my favorites. And then the Judge for the RMSE stuff is another one. Nick, do you have both those?
I do actually. Yeah. I have the Omega and Omega right here. I have another Omega right here.
Dang.
I have the Judge is the little one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The RMSC footprint. I have that on my 1022 actually. And I like it a lot on there.
I've actually got the Judge on not just the PD10, but I've got it on my TSUS 20 double stack 1911. Been using that one a lot, and also the Omega, but trying to like spread the love to the other stuff. You just get favorites, and so it's tough to like go with something that's not one of your favorites. But I'm trying. Let's see. Gideon Optics in the chat said Shake Awake except for the variable magnification stuff. They are all Shake Awake.
I gotta find something. I got one of them Gideons he sent me. I'm gonna put on here.
It'd be good for that. The Granite. That big ass window with the side battery. Yeah.
The 1-power prism. That's the one.
So actually, so I had a Granite just sitting there chilling, and I was probably going to put it on this thing. And my buddy brought his stepdaughter down to go deer hunting, and they had this like old shitty something or other on there. And I was like, yeah, that'll work, but it had like a riser mount on it, but it's like a youth 20 gauge shotgun.
Yeah. I'm
like, that's way too fucking high. Like you're like way the fuck up here. So I was like, fuck this shit. So I took it off and I actually put the Granite on there. And I was like, I want this fucking back, but you can use it for deer season. So go fucking sight it in. But this will work better for you than the shit. So we're going to see how it works on a 20 gauge and a 14-year-old girl. So
yeah.
See if she gets a deer.
The Let's Go Hunt guys have been using a bunch of Gideon stuff on shotguns. So excellent. GideonOptics.com, coupon code WLS is life, 11% off, the best discount that they give. Like, I don't know why you would use another code, because that one's just the best. Our listeners deserve the best. So definitely go with that. WLS is life. WLS is life, if I didn't mention it. All right, which is going to bring us to our last few questions. Just trying to figure out where we're at. Pervy Johnson says, good evening, fair maidens. From your fellow castmates, including Savage and any guest that may be present, if you had to pick one to fuck, one to marry, one to kill, and one to scissor, who would you pick for each? You cannot pick the same person more than once each. Well, I wish that I would have pre-read this and deleted it. But Nick, marry, fuck, kill, scissor.
I choose myself for all three
No.
in that order.
You don't get out that easy. Come on, Nick.
I'm not doing this.
Come on, Nick. You can do
No.
it. This is very easy.
I don't get paid enough for this.
I want to kill Aaron. I guess the rest are kind of difficult. I'm probably going to marry Nick.
Yeah, I mean, we've cohabitated.
We have cohabitated. I think Jeremy's got more like domestic skills, but like Nick's pretty good at a lot of stuff too. But honestly, just thinking of, fucking or scissoring, there's just like there's the physical issues that need to be considered when you're thinking about something like this. So yeah, kill Aaron, marry Nick. I mean, fuck Savage because I wouldn't feel gay. And
Jeremy's like, I'll fuck all of you.
I guess I would scissor Jeremy. It's fucking weird. I've seen his balls. It's terrible. Jeremy, you're muted.
I'd kill myself.
Shit, I should have picked that. Now I'm gay.
You faggot.
Yeah. I hate this.
Sean, if you tie your balls around his waist, does it cease to be scissoring and does it become bungee jumping?
I guess. I'm glad Aaron's not here. Let's see. Nick, you're up.
All right. God, I hope it's better than that one. Steve Polychronopoulos.
Hold on. Krista just said, I wish I would have deleted this too. Yeesh. Yes.
American. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. You're
Okay,
reading it first.
I am pre-reading. Yes. American Black, California Claro, Paradox, Turkish, English, French, or European? Or are you all a bunch of plastic pussies? Or maybe Curly or Bird's Eye Maple? Why doesn't Jeremy carry as many shotguns as Dawson in Massilian? Why doesn't he build an indoor 5-stand range?
Man, American Black, I think.
It's Massillon is the name of that town. Massillon. Dawson.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Y'all pronounce stuff wrong out there.
Dude, American Black Walnut is so hot. Hold on.
Because, oh, yeah.
Look at that. Oof. Look at that.
Yeah.
Because they're literally shotgun guys that have like a whole trap range out back. That's like literally what they do. And they're FUDs.
So which wood is your favorite? And don't say mine.
The prettiest?
Yeah.
I honestly would like a stock made out of an ironwood, but it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking curly and knotty. But it would be beautiful if you took the time to actually do it. But I do like curly maple. I like the look of curly maple. It's not the strongest, but I do like the look of it.
Trying to think if I've ever seen ironwood stock.
I don't know that anybody
Koa.
dumb enough to actually do that, like Osage Orange or any of the ironwood family, but it would be fucking
Brazilian redwood.
Oh, curly maple's hot.
Curly maple's sexy.
I've seen curly maple stuff in guns before. I think maybe Boyd's gun stocks. Do they do some curly maple stuff? Because yeah, that's really nice. Nick, what would you pick?
Out of those options, probably black walnut.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, as long as it's got some, I'm not too picky about the wood. As long as it's got some shape to it, you know.
Yeah,
I like them shapely.
some flow.
That's right.
Jeremy, last question is yours.
Some figure.
Oh yeah, I was looking for. This is a guy that made one out of Osage Orange.
Oh wow, we can see that so well.
That's pretty.
Brazilian redwood would be really cool, or koa.
Koa
rifle stock would be cool.
Is that Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be fucking just hard as fuck.
But it would have to be figured koa. Hold on, I'll bring up a link.
Barbacoa?
No, figured. Look how nice that is. Oh yeah.
I love koa.
Yeah, koa is great.
Oh, look at the wood.
And it has this crazy, once it's finished, it's hard to get photos of it that do it justice because it's got this weird, like 3-dimensional. It's amazing.
Zester said you could make a reasonable barrel out of Osage Orange. Fair.
Dude, have you ever cut Osage Orange with a chainsaw?
Nope.
You better bring like 10 chains.
Jeez.
Like you cut a limb and your chain's dull.
Where is that?
It's one of the ironwood family.
Well,
There's several trees in the ironwood family, but it's so fucking hard. They used to use them for fence posts.
Where does it grow? Like what part of the country?
There's one like 200 yards that way. Like,
nice.
I don't know if they grow out west, but they grow all over this area. You ever seen a monkey ball?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I've seen
You know what a monkey ball tree is?
Oh, a tree. No.
A monkey ball tree. You ever seen them? Google it. Monkey balls. Google monkey balls right now.
I don't think I want to put that.
Google monkey ball tree.
Monkey ball tree.
You can just type in Osage Orange and you'll get pictures of it.
So that's an Osage Orange.
I see. Okay.
Have you ever seen one of those?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's okay. So they apparently don't grow in high country deserts. But they are the tree that it comes from is called an Osage Orange. And when those things dry out, you basically can't do anything with them. They're so fucking hard. Like whatever you try to cut it with, it's going to just dull. Not the fruit, but the tree itself.
Yeah. Interesting. Apparently you can buy them on Amazon, which is weird. 10 seeds.
Some people say that you can, if you keep the monkey balls or the Osage Orange, or some people call them hedge apples or horse apples or shit like that, that they keep spiders away. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but people do say that. But the tree itself is so fucking hard. It's so fucking hard. It's ridiculous. Like
Nice.
there are fences around here. There's like cattle fences around here that probably got put sometime in the 1800s, and they're still fucking standing because the shit just doesn't go anywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, super Gorilla Glue. They do burn well if you can fucking manage to actually split them.
It'll stay on fire forever.
Like no, I've literally tried to split the shit with like a 30-ton log splitter, and it jammed it. It literally shut down
What?
a 30-ton. Yeah, it
God.
will. And they're knotty as fuck. Like the grain doesn't grow straight at all. So you end up just like crushing it as you try to split it. But I've seen a 30-ton log splitter overload and stop. Like the ram cannot do it.
That is insane.
Yeah, they're fucking tough. But if you do manage to get it split and you do manage to actually get pieces that you can fit into a wood burner, you could if you throw in like a 3-inch diameter limb, like 16, 18 inches long, depending on how big your wood burner is, that fucker will still be there in the morning.
Jeez, it's crazy. All right, Osage Orange, got it. I'm in. Last question, Jeremy.
Cunning Linguist says, I have a muzzleloader I inherited from my in-laws. I don't give a shit about it and don't want it. I want to get rid of it, but I'm not even sure I can sell it in the condition it's in. What do? No notes.
God damn it.
Find somebody that wants it and give it to them. Like it's not even a gun. Hell, throw it in the fucking trash.
Right. I was just gonna say it's not a gun. Fucking give it to a kid.
Yeah.
Pack it as full of black powder as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then just barely put a ball into the end.
That doesn't blow them up though. They just burns out because black powder doesn't burn that way.
I've got a better idea. H4350 full barrel full.
Okay, that'll do some shit.
Do it.
That'll make a pipe bomb.
Yeah, I'm in for someone else to do it.
Yeah, it's literally nothing. Find a gun shop and just be like, here, take a free gun, and they'll be like, or please dispose of this, or does anybody want a free muzzle loader?
You know, honestly, take it as a personal project, refinish it, make it look beautiful, and hang it on the wall as a piece of art.
We have a place close by here. It's called the Log Cabin Shop, and they're like one of the premier black powder places in the country. They have like their store is a museum, and they have muzzle loaders all the way from like the fucking 1700s to modern shit. And people would call me and they're like, "Do you guys work on muzzle loaders?" And I'm like, "Go to the fucking Log Cabin Shop." And they're like, "Yeah, they're just kind of far away." I'm like, "Guys, you have like one of the coolest black powder places in the country in your backyard. Go fucking use it." Like, don't, because I don't know. Like, those are the guys that like make backlock springs and shit like that. And I'm like, I'm not, just fucking go to them, dude.
Yeah. Especially if it's a cool place.
It really is. It's like a little next time you come out here, we'll go. How
Dude,
about that?
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm in. Zach Hester said. Sean has to keep saying he's in because we're not sure if he really is or not. Fuck off. But
So
yeah,
would you say that you're in, or would you say that you're out?
I would.
Because you appear to be in right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as little as I know, she knows even less.
Oh,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, like refinish it, take it on as a personal project, like refinish it, fix all the metal, like do all the things to it and make it a piece of wall art. I think that'd be fucking sweet. And if you don't want to, send it to me. I'll do this. I'll do it. That'd be a fun project. Let's see. Well, we give away stuff every single week. The winner of this week's swag pack is Cunning Linguist. For his muzzle loader question, go to email automatedwelikeshooting.com, Cunning Linguist, and we will get you your prize pack. And for those that would like to have an opportunity to win a prize pack, go to welikeshooting.com/dashboard and click on Dear WLS. Medical Gear Outfitters, if you get hit in the face with some Osage, what's it called? Fucking orange wood?
Monkey ball? Osage orange?
Osage orange.
Osage orange. If you get hit in the face with Osage orange and you have a contusion on your head, what are you going to do? What
Die, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you probably are going to die, but you know, what if you get hit with maple? What are you going to do?
Be real pissed off.
Exactly.
Fucking die.
Maybe die though. It depends on where I get hit. Yeah.
What if you get stabbed with some maple?
Maybe die. Once again, it depends.
Yeah. You know what you should do instead of dying? Get some training and get some medical gear from Medical Gear Outfitters.
I mean, that does sound like a pretty good idea.
Sounds a lot better.
But like, where am I getting stabbed?
Dude, okay. So,
because like, if I'm getting stabbed in the temple,
no,
I don't think anything's going to help.
Yeah,
but,
no one ain't no.
But if I get stabbed in like the hand or something, you know,
or the wrist, or you know,
then we can work with that.
Yeah. Check this out. So my YouTube subscription list is pretty long, but occasionally I will have watched everything in my list.
Would you say it's ball-like?
Yes. Yes. Long ball-like. So I ran out of stuff. So there's this other channel that I see sometimes pop up in my recommendations called Explore With Us. And it's basically just as interrogation stuff from cases where police are interrogating people who've committed crimes or not committed crimes or just, you know, wrong place, wrong time. And the one I was watching was this OnlyFans model and her boyfriend were like constantly fighting. And she ended up like throwing a knife at him and it hit him in the shoulder and perforated his subclavian artery. And he died. Like by the time rescue got there, it was too late. And like they have her 911 call and, you know, Like, it's just a fucking disaster. And I'm like, what if she had a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of medical knowledge, a little bit of equipment? So Nick, what do you think? Subclavian artery coming down through and under your collarbone. Like, what are you going to do there?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you could get to it, you could try to clamp it off.
Maybe if you
can't get to it, like just try to pack it. But like that's a tough one.
Yeah, honestly,
you're not going to be able to put a tourniquet on it or anything.
Correct. Yeah, no tourniquet. Like pressure would be just such a good option. And maybe like that's not the right answer. Maybe you're gonna have to like stick a finger in that bitch and try to clamp it off. But yeah, that would be a really, really tough one. Because normally, we want to pack wounds, but God, I would probably pack that one, even though under your collarbone, you're generally not going to pack a wound because you don't want to be packing the chest cavity full. But just having gauze available, having pressure available, and just having a little bit, he died because he couldn't get care, because no one even really attempted to stop the bleed. So get some medical training from Skinny Medic's YouTube channel and buy the gear that you need from medicalgearoutfitters.com. Coupon code We Like Shooting, 11% off. You deserve the best. All right, time for some gun industry news. And this fucking first one, I'm angry about. I'm mad about it.
Why are you angry? You're mad about it? Like you're excited?
Kimber now offers a 2011. And you're
mad about this gun.
Hot. It's hot. Tactical Considerations has one, and it is just goddamn beautiful. Look at this bronze slide one.
That's the thing about Kimber, though, is that they lure you in with their good looks.
Yeah.
But then they hit you with their shit personality.
Kimber does pretty very well, but that's all it does.
Yeah. But dude, look at this thing. So it's got a 2011 style frame. It's got just a beautiful slide with ports cut, and the serrations are some of the better looking ones I've ever seen. The serrations are matched in a different color, anodized magwell that matches the trigger. Like, oh my God. It's just, it's super hot. Extended beaver tail, skeletonized hammer. It's one of the more tasteful. Yeah.
The dry cut's great.
God, it's so good.
Yeah. But this is what Kimber's always done, is just made really attractive stuff. It's just, it's usually not worth as much as they charge for it.
Yeah. Has anyone in the chat watched Tactical Considerations video on this? Because it is one of the best looking 2011s that I've seen. I don't actually know how much they are. I think the article says here. I'll just double check here in a second. But I saw it, and I don't care about Kimber. Oh my God. Price starts at $19.95 and can go up to $3,095.
I'm actually surprised they're not charging more.
Yeah. So Tactical Considerations on YouTube, go watch his video and, make your own choices, because I think they're pretty hot. Tip Up Barrels, EAA has introduced their updated Gerson MC14T X tip up. Do we actually care about these? I don't recall.
No, we shot this, remember?
Oh yeah, we did.
And it somehow had like more recoil than everything else around. I think we shot like a 10 mil or something next, and the 10 mil was more pleasant.
Dude, yeah. So the fucking little round in the bottom, in the base plate of the magazine, $519.
I actually like those.
Tell me why.
I like those for people with hand strength issues.
Okay. In theory, yes. Here's the problem. If you have hand strength issues, you're not going to be able to shoot this thing comfortably.
If you have hand strength issues, the 380 and the 9 Easy and the Equalizer exist.
I'm just saying
this thing is really unpleasantly snappy. Like, I was very excited to shoot it. Like, it's metal framed 380 that's mid-sized. It's got a good enough grip that you can get your hand on it. Like, it's going to be pleasant and fun and cool. And then I shot it and I was like, what the fuck is that?
But it fires like a fixed barrel, because
yeah. Except like worse than a lot of fixed barrels.
Yeah. It was because we had just talked about these guns like the previous week on the show, and then we get there at Goals, and we were like, "Holy fuck, they got one!" And they were like, "Oh god, that's terrible. I hate it." New bolt action triggers from Rise Armament. So funny story. In the hockey locker room last night, someone asked me about Rise triggers, and I was like, "Yeah, they're decent. Like if you can get one for on sale for a decent price." These are their new bolt action triggers, the Reliant Hunter and the Reliant Pro. The Hunter is for REM 700 actions, adjustable pull weight 2 to 5 pounds, price of $170. The Pro also fits 700 actions, just has a choice of curved or flat triggers, and it's $260. And what do you guys think of Rise Armament triggers?
They're okay.
They're good budget triggers.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying. I was like, I wouldn't pay like a ton of money for them, but at the same time, I think that they're decent overall, and looks like they're kind of trying to take on AccuTrigger at this point.
Timney.
But I will also say that their price is very, very similar to the other ones. So it's going to have to perform pretty well to go with a new one as opposed to one of the older ones. Also, I scored 2 goals last night at hockey. Unrelated. Just wanted to humble brag.
Both were in a butthole.
No, both were standing right in front of the. I always say that every hockey line needs 3 kinds of players. You need the absolute bulldog, just driving all the time after the puck, chasing, biting, scratching, kicking. You need a playmaker, and then you need meat to stand in front of the net. I'll let you guess which one I am.
The one where you just said me. You need me.
No, meat.
Oh, meat. I thought you said, and then you need me.
No, meat. You need meat.
Oh.
Patriot Ordnance Factory USA launches their new light modular rifle, or LMR base rifle. I know that we've shot some POF, and I think most of us have been generally unimpressed, right?
I think they're all right. I don't like their lever action, but
yeah.
But this stuff's all right.
What, PLF?
Yeah.
I mean, they're real proud of their shit. They're fine though, but like it's expensive.
Exactly. And this LMR is going to be, it's chambered in 308, 16.5 inch barrel, and it's going to be $1,359. So they've kind of like turned all of their previous stuff on the head. Uses a MFT minimalist stock, their own handguard, patented key lock, a bolt carrier group. Not even sure what that means, but yeah, for a 308, $1,359, not too bad.
It's just a small frame 308.
Yeah. Do you see an actual weight listed here somewhere?
I don't.
It just says that it's on par with an AR-15, but that doesn't mean much.
I mean, overall, like I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, I think these are really cool rifles, and now that they're offering a more budget-friendly option, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. So one of the first POFs that I would actually consider, I think. But I mean,
and that is a pretty reasonable price.
Dude, I don't think
3 pounds. Wow.
I don't think I could build a 308 for that price. Maybe.
I bet you could, especially right now with Black Friday coming, but it would not be. It would probably be a lot less nice than this.
You'd be pretty close to that with like an Arrow M5.
Yeah. Except I would be pissed because all the parts are stupid and different. Do you guys remember Freedom Munitions?
Yes.
So Freedom Munitions, 2019, I believe, went into bankruptcy, got bought out of bankruptcy, still doing their thing, have part of their business for the extreme bullets, especially in Carson City, Nevada. And they are moving all of that stuff to Idaho. Some people laid off. Some people are invited to move to Idaho for the jobs. So seems like they're still kind of kicking around. Definitely not making the impact that they did, but we need more American ammunition manufacturers. So like
they just grew too quickly. That was their main problem.
they did.
They expanded so quickly, and then after the ammo shortages were done, and people weren't buying like they were, they overextended themselves.
Yeah.
And they were having a lot of quality control issues. People were having problems with their shit because they got too big. They tried to get shit out the door too fast, trying to make hammer iron while it's hot, but you can't fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They dropped the ball in a lot of different ways back then.
Bad.
I would like to see them come back around because I always did enjoy them before that happened. I probably got 5,000 rounds of freedom here pre that, but and it was always good prior to 2013, 2015, somewhere around there.
They went out of business in 2019. I think problems started around 2017.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, it'll be good if they can figure it out. And it seems like they're definitely on the right track, trying to consolidate things, trying to make sure that they're doing the right thing in the right places. So,
because I've never actually heard anybody complain about the extreme bullets. Like the bullets were always good.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But it was their reman ammo that people had problems with.
Their fucking ammunition was it started out great and got dog shit.
Yeah, they got too big and they lost control of QC. They were just trying to get shit out the door so fucking fast, it just bit them in the ass. And then once you get a reputation like that, you're done.
And not only just getting big too fast, it's just honestly like ammunition is hard to be successful at. Like JCAA, their stuff cost more money because they put a ton of effort and time into QC. I was there. I saw like what it took to put their ammunition out. And when you're talking about ammunition, it is economy of scale. Like you have to, you're making fractions of a cent per round.
Yeah.
You have to absolutely push it out. And when you push out that many rounds, like something has to give. And for them, it was quality.
Yep.
EAA introduces the Gerson Influencer X, a 1911 for the 2020s. So 4 calibers, 38 Super, 9 mil, 45, 10 mil. Prices go from $689 to $729. I like not a 2311, not any of that stuff, but still kind of looks pretty cool. I am interested. I love 1911s.
I wish 38 Super was more popular.
Do you have any 38 Super guns personally?
No, but Tony does.
Does he like it?
He's had it since like 1973.
I'd like to have a Super 38 someday.
It'd be fun. But yeah, check out these Gersons. They look nice. They're attractive. I have a Gerson P35 clone that I'm working on the review for as soon as I get more magazines. But these are the ones that I really want to try. Is their 1911s, their 2311s. That's the shit that I'm actually interested in. And for the price, like that Thesis that I've been reviewing, that thing's amazing. I hope that some of the double stack 1911 stuff from EAA Gerson is also good.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that Thesis is cool.
So I've got 700-800 rounds. I have to check my notes. And the only thing that has gone wrong is I've had 2 stovepipes out of those rounds. Now, is it ammunition? I don't know. I'm shooting like literally dog shit ammunition. Impossible to say. And I've actually had a couple stovepipes in the Avidity Arms PD10 as well. Nope, that's the ARX. Avidity Arms PD10. So same ammo, same exact symptom. I'm not 100% sure, but the more 1911s and 2011 style stuff, double stack 9 that we get, the better. Jeremy, tell me about Bowers Group.
They make suppressors.
I agree.
They make very good suppressors. Actually, I bullied Tom into making a new one today.
Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't think he cares. So I was trying to sell a can to a guy, and we were on the verse 9S War K9 path. But then I asked if you wanted a little bit more, So then we were like verse 375, to do the 38 revolt or the 38 lever gun you want to do, but it'll also do big boy stuff like 308, 338 Lapua, shit like that, 300 Win Mag. But if you want to shoot like a 45, then we got to go up to like this can and blah 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 blah. But he didn't want to like pay for a dreadnought, and the dreadnought was too big, and like the verse 45 was kind of too big, and he really liked the size of the verse 9S. So I called Tom and I'm like, hey, do you make like a verse 45S? And he goes, no, I don't. And I was like, well, you fucking should. And he's like, yeah, you're not the first person that's told me that. And I was like, I would like you to make that. And I will gladly buy one and test it out for you. And I will say, like, I've gotten a lot of free suppressors from Tom.
Yeah.
But, like, I told him, I was like, he's like, you're paying for this one, bitch. I was like, that's fine. I'm like, I don't care, man. I'll pay for it. And so he said he was going to make up some verse 45S cans. And he's going to send me two, actually, one for me and one for the customer.
Nice.
And I have a Strybog SP45A3 that I'm going to stick it on.
Nice. It's freaking awesome.
So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Okay. You might not have that relationship with Tom, but I get to bully him into making shit.
I mean, if I had a good idea, I could, I wouldn't even have to bully him.
I asked him if he can make like a War Dog K45.
Ooh.
And he's like, I don't know if that would be hearing safe. And that's kind of Tom's shtick.
But wait a minute. The War Dog K45 would be better than the K9.
Yeah, but no, because it'd be the exact same diameter with a bigger hole in the middle of it. And with a 45, there's just a lot more gas volume coming out behind it, True. Even though it is subsonic. He was just unsure. I told him he should make one and let me prototype it, but
yeah.
But we settled on a verse 45S because he didn't have that, and I was like, you should totally fucking make that.
Krista actually asked me if I'd ever seen what's on screen right now, which is the ATAS rimfire brake. And I had never seen this before. $110. It's a brake, not a can, but rated for all rimfire calibers, 5.7, 22 Hornet, 17 Wisdom, like all the stuff. And just I think he described it as a cute little brake.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I think that is very cute. It's like it's the size of a biddy, but a brake, not a can. So pretty cool. BowersGroup.com, coupon code WLS saves you the money. And you know what? That's going to do it for this episode of Double Tap. So join Gun Owners of America, gunowners.org/WLS, get discounts, get covered by the injunctions, and get free entry to the goals convention every single year. Tell your friends about this show. Get backstage access. Hang out at theguncult.com. We do fun stuff like Krampus, which is our secret Santa, but with a lot more hate. Every single year, theguncult.com is where you can join. Dang Free is our social media. It's dangfree.net. We have iPhone and Android apps and web, but it's a social media app for people who love freedom. No matter how tough your battle is, we want you here to fight with us tomorrow. Look, we just had a big win with Trump getting elected president, but we're going to need a lot more wins as we continue to go on. We need all the 2A people here to fight with us. Suicide prevention line is 988. You can dial that from your phone and, stay here. It's worth it. And always prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. We'll see you next time. We love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. You can feel this itchy way.
Whoa.
Why does it say you can feel this itchy way?
What says what?
It says you can, the opening line is you can feel this itchy way.
Hold on. I'm going to play it again because now I'm curious. Here we go. Fuck, it does.